It's time for sports with New Zealand Olympian Billy Stairmand, who's about to make history as the first New Zealand male surfer to ever compete at the Olympic Games. Has that quite sunk in yet, man?
No, it's been a crazy few weeks, to be honest. Ever since we kind of got named onto the team last Monday, it's been a pretty, fast uphill track to Tokyo. Things are going pretty well. There's been a lot of meetings, a lot of forms we have to sign, a lot of training, a lot of practice, and I'm super busy at the moment, so it's good, I guess, in a way, and it's very exciting. I can't wait. I can't wait to compete. That's what I really want to do.
How weird was it for you? And I guess for Ella Williams, you might not have spoken about this, but because you guys provisionally qualified, you didn't get confirmed until about 18 months later. What was that sort of 18-month period like for you? Was it just a weird sort of waiting game?
Yeah, for sure. It was a weird time for us. Obviously, we were once we provisionally qualified at the start, it was an awesome feeling. It was a new sport coming into the Olympics, and everyone was very excited about it. And then, a lot of people were talking about it, and then we keep saying that it's provisional. It's not 100% yet. So, it's been a different time. Obviously, the whole world's been a different time right now. So, the last couple of weeks have been awesome. Being announced onto the New Zealand team and becoming an actual official Olympian. The whole journey is, kind of rolling ahead now. So, it's been a long time coming. Obviously, I had a few things happen to me in the last year and a half as well. I got injured at the start of last year, and I didn't know, whether I was going to be able to compete in Tokyo last year. But obviously, COVID happened, and it gave me time to rehab and get my body back to normal. And now I'm feeling fitter and stronger than ever, and I'm ready to take on Tokyo.
What's the training regime been like over the last little while, both in and out of the water?
Yeah, it's been different. My training program's been definitely different. For me personally, I just want to keep competing. Obviously, it's a tough time now with the whole world, and there's not many competitions going on. So for me, I kind of just want to keep surfing and keep in that competition mode. I have been competing around New Zealand for the last year and a half, and I went to Aussie a couple of times just to put myself amongst the best surfers over there and get some practice, and that was been very beneficial for me. And obviously there's some physical training in the gym and sports psych stuff, and a bit of cardio, a bit of boxing. I'm trying to broaden my training regime and try new things and keep it exciting and fun, and all while I'm focusing on surfing at the same time and competing and getting a medal.
I know you've been doing some work with Dave Wood out at Piha. Can you just tell me a little bit about what that work involves and I guess the benefits of all that breath work and movement stuff that Dave gets you to do?
Yeah, Dave's a legend. I actually had a session with him maybe 2 years ago now, in a surf camp we did in preparation for Tokyo. We worked with him the other week, me and Ella, and he does some amazing stuff with breath work and kind of focusing in on your task at hand and not worrying about outside noise. There's so much stress and other things that can put you off your competition and yourself, I guess. And we kind of work on, calming the mind and the body and kind of bringing yourself in mentally as well, focusing on what you can do in this time. And I really love that kind of deep, getting deep and getting calm and ready and, kind of not worrying about all the stress around that, outside noise and things like that, and just solely focusing on competing and winning. And obviously he's done some really cool stuff with some more amazing athletes, Israel Adesanya, the UFC fighter, and myself and Ella, and he worked with Elliot as well before. So he's doing some really cool stuff, and I'm so stoked to be working with him. I'm actually going to see him this week and get some more work done and preparation. So I'm really looking forward to it.
What's your schedule looking like between now and the games? I mean, end of the month, right? So it can't be too long until you fly out.
Yeah, we actually fly out next weekend on the 18th. So it's coming up real quick. The schedule's pretty busy, to be honest. I'll be going to Auckland Thursday, Friday. trying to spend time with my wife over the weekend before I head away. Yeah, and then other than that, I guess I'll be working with Maddie, our surf coach in the Mount probably, and yeah, just surfing and training and kind of ramping up and kind of focusing in on the competition. Obviously, there's been a lot of distractions with media and like other things like traveling around New Zealand and competing and stuff like that. But now it's time to really knuckle down and focus on getting a medal and the whole process of getting into Tokyo and the village and things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of work to do, but I'm really looking forward to it.
I know you're a big basketball guy. Are you at all disappointed that in Tokyo you're not going to be able to mingle and meet some of these other athletes?
I am. I keep talking to my coach, Maddie, and we're like, I'd really love to go watch the basketball, especially the USA basketball team. Like my favorite players going, and I'm a big basketball fan, and I actually take a lot out of the athletes themselves, how mentally strong they are and physically, then they're just beasts of athletes. So, yeah, I'm pretty gutted that we can't go watch other sports, to be honest. So I really want to go watch the bus. That was the one thing I wanted to go see while I was over there. But and saying that, I'm there for a job, to do a job, and I want to put myself in the best position I can do so. So yeah, I'll kind of just be focusing on my competition, and then we'll see what happens after it.
What do you make of the rest of the field? Obviously, it's pretty strong with a couple of the Brazilian boys getting in there. Obviously, the Australians are always good. And, of course, competing in Japan, which isn't the most reliable of places.
Yeah, Japan's not, especially in the middle of summer, it's not known to be the best waves. But I have been there a few times in the same time frame, and I've actually done really well in a QS event there. I actually got third. Before, and that's where I qualified. I qualified for Tokyo in Japan 2 years ago now. So I've had some good experiences over there, and I actually enjoyed the surf conditions over there. It's suited to me. It's kind of small and pussy little waves, and I've got like pretty good little boards under my feet, and I'm quite small in stature. So if anything, everything's kind of in my favor. But yeah, the it's an amazing field. There's only 20 athletes, and I'm super honored and proud to be amongst those, top 20 in the whole world and compete at the Olympic Games. And I've competed against them all pretty much before. So I know what they're like, and you watch them on TV and their clips and stuff like that. So yeah, for me, I'm focusing on what I want to do and what I can do over there, and what my goals are, and not really focusing on anyone else, but pretty much, tunnel vision to that medal.
Do you approach it as just another comp, or is it hard to sort of take the gloss of the Olympic Games off it?
It's definitely different, but I think the whole working with Woody in a sports psych as well is really beneficial for us, to actually concentrate on the competition and not think about it as a major event in a way. Obviously, there's some huge benefits if you do well, which is always in the back of your head. But yeah, like I said, I'm going into it as a normal competition, and I want to do what I want to do in a heat and what I want to do in the competition. So, I'm trying to block out all the other distractions of whether who I've got, or how big the event is, or what else is going on around me. I'm just solely focusing on what I want to do.
I know you just got back from Australia quite recently. Probably just snuck in before the whole COVID thingy went off again over there. Just tell me a little bit about competing on the Goldie, and we know now that you've qualified for the Challenger Series at the end of the year, which, man, you're going to be busy, eh?
Yeah, I went over for an event, a QS event, one of the biggest ones this year, to be honest. And yeah, I just really wanted to get some practice and try and get a bit of momentum going into Tokyo, and I did do so. At the start of the competition, I didn't really think about the Challenger Series. I just wanted to practice and try my boards out and compete with the competition in Australia is some of the best. So I wanted to put myself amongst that, and I managed to make a few heats, and it was actually a really stressful comp because I flew home early because I lost before the finals day and stuff, and obviously the COVID was starting to happen and all this stuff, and I got out of there, and then as soon as I landed, there was a couple scenarios in back end of the competition that kind of had to play out in my favor. Cooper Chapman, I think, got into the quarterfinals, and if he made the semifinals, I was out of the Challenger Series. And then Mitch Parkinson actually made the final, and he needed to win the event, and he got second. So if he had won, I would have been bumped out. So it all kind of, played out in my favor. But I wasn't watching the event. My wife was watching, calling me up. Yeah, you've done this, you've done that. But because for me, I just, it was out of my control. I couldn't do anything. So it's not, nothing to worry myself so much about. But at the end of the day, I actually got home, and the comp had finished, and I'd qualified for the Challenger Series, and everything was good. And I'm super stoked to make the Challenger Series. It was definitely a goal, but obviously there's been a lot of attention around the Olympics, and I've been seriously focusing on that. And now that I've done well in Aussie, and things are going well, I've made the Challenger Series as well. So it's going to be a busy back half of the year for me.
How important is getting a little bit of momentum behind you, like you were able to get in Aussie, heading over to something like the Olympics?
Yeah, for me, I think it's a huge confidence booster. Like I said before, I like to keep competing. If you stop competing, it's hard to go out and surf a heat against some good. There's so many different variables that you have to take on in a competition. So, for me anyway, it was definitely beneficial to get a few heats under my belt, beat a few good guys in the competition, and get a bit of momentum and test my boards out as well. And it was actually quite small, so it was pretty similar conditions to Japan. And it's a huge confidence booster for me. And going into Japan, like I said, it's a good way for me, and I've been there before, and I feel comfortable over there. So I'm feeling good.
What sort of quiver are you taking over with you? Are you not allowed to say? It's a secret.
It's not a secret. I'm taking all sorts. I'll probably take 2 surfboard bags. I'll probably take between 8 and 10 boards, maybe, just depending on the conditions. You never know what it's going to be like. So I'll mostly take Provisionally small wave boards, because I know it's usually pretty small over there. But I've got a few little epoxies, and the new Inferno 72 from Sharp Eyes apparently going good, and they're getting delivered this week, so I'll be trying them all this next week and in the lead up. And then I'll take over a bunch of boards, and my coach can knuckle down what looks the best and what goes the best, and hopefully performs the best.
Excellent, man. And back to basketball, I just wanted to get your prediction on the NBA finals. Who you got?
Oh, basketball. Far out. What's this? Is there a game on today?
I think they start on I think they start Thursday.
Oh, okay. I kind of like the Suns. The Suns have been going pretty good. Booker's a beast, and Chris Paul's an old vet. He's been around for a while and kind of deserves the title. But Booker's one of my, he's up there with one of the best to watch, I think, personally. And the Bucks are pretty gnarly. They won the last couple games without Giannis, and they're doing pretty good, Middleton and stuff like that. So I think the Suns were going to win, but if Giannis comes back and he's pretty strong, the Bucks are going to be pretty deadly. So it's going to be a hard one. Mate, I hope it goes to a game 7. That'll be sick.
Oh, good, man. Well, that's all the time I need to take off your hands. Thank you very much. And for anyone watching, if you want to support Billy, he's selling some shirts. We'll drop his Instagram link in our description. Just follow that and harass him in the DMs, and he'll hook you up. So cheers, Billy, and all the best in Tokyo.
Thank you very much. Cheers for having me.